Hey everybody, welcome back, Dangerous Freedom. And I got my brother Moose Man here.
Yep. Hi, everybody.
Let's see who we got here. We got Joe Morgan in the chat. We got Bug Dude. We got
Hey, Bug,
Milkmaid.
Joe,
Milkmaid.
Milkmaid.
So yeah, there's quite a bit we could discuss, especially about the 2A.
I know it's
Dude.
sure this has been one of the worst attacks on the Second Amendment that we've seen in the past, what, six, 7 months now, going on 8 months. It's the worst attack on our God-given rights. Um, Besides the medical crap that's going on.
Yeah. And they're doing it with the First Amendment too. Like
Right.
I can't even count all the channels that I know that have been struck because of misinformation. Oh man, yeah, it's bullshit.
And that's the thing, is who determines the misinformation? If they're the propaganda machine and they're the ones lying to everybody, and we come up with the truth and they call it misinformation and take it off, that's just pure out lies and propaganda. So they're the ones guilty of disinformation. Show me your proof. Show me you prove me wrong is what I want to tell them. Prove me wrong.
They don't have to. Remember, they're the government. They don't have to prove anything wrong. They don't have to
Well,
prove anything right. Might makes right.
well, Facebook, YouTube, and the government still need to prove it to me, because you can say whatever you want, but it can all be bullcrap, And some of us have a brain on our heads, and we do research and we look and realize what they're telling us is not true. Hey, Jim. Hey, Mayor.
Mayor. Hey, what's going on, Gary?
Hey, Gary.
So this chick is spending what $70,000 on private security. Dude, can you imagine if you and I went out, spent $70,000 on our own private security? Well, first of all, it wouldn't
I can't
include any
spend
people.
I can't spend $7,000 on personal security, much less
I know,
70,000.
right?
But
But
there
there
seventy
wouldn't be any
thousand a
here.
year is two police officers' salary. This same chick wants to defund the police, but she's spending up to 200,000 a year on private armed security for herself, while defunding the police.
Yeah.
That's hypocrisy at its finest.
Yes, it is. And
And
see, I pride.
controversial people, if you think about it though, controversial people are the only ones that need security because they piss people off. If you're
Yeah,
liked by everybody and you're doing things for the American public, um, there's very few people that would really want anything to happen to you.
true.
And it's funny. We always used to say, we hope nothing happened to Barack Obama, because they would make him a martyr of the highest order. So,
Hmm.
and a lot of us behind the scenes made sure that if we uncovered any plots against Barack Obama, we had to stop it, because we did not want the man killed. We didn't want him to be a martyr. At the same time, he was comparatively moderate compared to what we're dealing with now. I'm sorry, but um,
Yeah.
that's just the way it is. But if he's behind our current resident house plant, then he has upped his game a little bit.
I don't know.
We don't know.
What's up,
Hey, brother
AB?
Aaron, good to see you. Glad to see you made it. Yep.
I support them making gun laws. No, I don't. There's 30,000 damn gun laws on the books. The problem the problem with it is half of them the cops don't even know, and then the other half the lawmakers don't care about. Guy goes out, shoots somebody or shoots a few people. What does he get? Probation? 5 years probation. Are
Yeah.
you kidding me? He's back on the street that same day, got a gun, and yeah, just
Yeah. Oh, as a personal note, I got contacted by the Alaska District Attorney. The woman that was with the guy that broke into my house, they were both in my house. They had both broke in basically. They called me up and they made a plea deal with her. Get this, $250 fine. All they could charge her with was criminal trespassing. Um, 15 days in jail with 15 days suspended, which means no jail, and
uh-huh.
1 year probation, and a restraining order that she could not come within 500 yards of my property, which means she can't even drive on the highway by my property legally. But of course, they won't enforce that. And the DA asked me what I thought of that charge. I said, well, I don't think it's enough, to be honest with you. Why wasn't she charged as part of the burglary? And I'll tell you why I think this. She didn't stop him from breaking in my house. She knew it was my house, the same as he did. She did not stop him. So she's just as guilty as he is of burglary, breaking and entering, destruction of private property, and everything else. They said, well, we all that. I said, well, she didn't try to stop him, is my point. And I
Mm.
said, and there's no going to be no drug screen on her because everybody knows he's into drugs, and I'm figuring she was too. And she was probably hiding the meth in my house for the reason he came to the door naked. But until I get up there and maybe find some evidence or something, they'll probably go back in there if they left it and break in it again to get it out if it's there. But I can't get up there. But so she's going to basically get a year's probation and a $250 fine, and that's it. He's still in jail. He had a court hearing, which I missed by phone, but he's still in jail, and he's got another court hearing in October. But now they're saying things are delayed because of the new COVID outbreak in Alaska. They're locking the place down again.
Are you kidding me? Of course you're not kidding me. Dude,
So
I
they said the court will be delayed. But as long as they
dude,
keep
I
him in
thought
jail, I don't care.
man, I don't get that. Yeah, I've heard about that too, because the new variants coming out. It's like, you know, I know there are some states that are trying to push it, that are pushing back. I know we're pushing back down here, but
Yeah,
other states are right on
yeah,
board. California, New York,
I heard
yeah,
the Canadian border is going to open up. They're saying possibly next week. However, you have to show proof of vaccination to get in. They have not said anything about people who are exempt, who, you know, who can't take the vaccine, who've already had it and are allergic to the vaccine. They haven't said anything about making any, uh, you know, exemptions for them. They're just saying you got to be vaccinated to cross the border into Canada. I
yeah,
can't go anyway. Both my kids.
it's getting
I'm
pretty
stuck.
stupid. It's getting
Yeah.
stupid out there. That's for sure. So you heard about Biden having a little conference with 7 attorneys general That was about the
I heard
PLCCA.
I heard a little bit of it.
And that's
Fill us
I
in.
mean, if you watch Guns and Gadgets, he's a little bit more in the know. But what he's trying to do is he's trying to get it different states to go ahead and pass it. And I think a lot of this started when Remington went ahead and bit the bullet and was like, ah man, we're being sued by I think it was Connecticut, the Newtown thing. Or I can't remember exactly which one. One of them fucking shootings.
Right.
And they ended up deciding to pay out like 33 million. Excuse me, like $33 million to these families, and it's like, why? I mean, why? Do you feel guilty? I mean, you didn't put the guns in his hand.
They should have fought it tooth and nail.
They should
And I
have.
mean, as far as I'm concerned, you're going to pay one way or the other. All right, well, why don't you pay it, get you more lawyers, and you should be exempt from lawsuit. And you if they sue you and the judge or a jury awards it, then you can appeal it and tie it up in court for years. You don't have to pay it and wear them down. But like I said, this opens a whole can of worms.
Yeah, thank you, and Daniel, Jeremy. Yeah, the reason I wasn't on last night is because I ended up having a really long day. I mean, I was up until almost 8:30, and by the time it was all said and done, I was like just exhausted. So I
Okay,
thought,
Doc. Hey, Doc Mac.
thought I'd lay down for a minute, see what happened. Well, I ended up sleeping till like 2 in the morning. So
Well, at least you didn't leave the stream on.
yeah. What's up, David G? Yes, I see your comment, bro. Hey, Carolina. The only good thing is
And then
if
we
they
have
want to
the country of Mexico.
Oh yeah,
We have the country of Mexico filing lawsuit against a bunch
I
of
saw that.
manufacturers.
I wanted to say really quick
Crazy.
about the whole trying to make manufacturers liable for their products being used irresponsibly. They can't technically remove that without the filibuster vote. So thank God for that filibuster, huh?
Yeah. Well, like I said, I don't trust any of them now, and I ain't putting nothing past these bunch we've got in
That's
there.
true. So yeah, anyways, you were talking about the, the Mexican lawsuit. Oh boy, that's a joke. That's got to be a damn joke. What do they want? 10 billion, I think was what
$10
they
billion. Yeah.
for because we're supplying the cartel. Like, no, we're not.
No, we're not. Guns are being smuggled by smugglers. So what I want is every family in the United States who has lost a loved one to heroin and fentanyl that came across the Mexican border to all get together and file a class action lawsuit for $20 billion against the
Yep.
Mexican government. File a
Amen.
double lawsuit if you've lost a loved one due to fentanyl and heroin, whatever's come across that Mexican border. Get two bank of lawyers and file you a $20 billion lawsuit, and let's go after the Mexican government for that.
Yeah, no doubt.
We'll show them.
What's up, Jay?
And I ain't buying no more Mexican avocados. They can forget it, and I ain't buying no tequila.
What's up, Huckleberry?
And no Corona beer. That stuff could be infected. So, not going to happen.
That's a good point, though. Sue them for all. Dude, you see that one video about that cop that was testing, or he was bagging evidence or something, and came in contact with fentanyl and freaking
Yep, OD.
overdose? Yeah, OD
Yep.
right there, man. That's freaking nuts, dude. That shit's super dangerous.
I know they gave me to put me out to do my biopsy on my prostate. They gave me like a half a milligram of fentanyl, and I was gone Johnson. I was not in this world. I, I mean, I was oblivious. I was asleep. I was crashed. With just, I mean, just it was such a small amount. It was unbelievable. She asked me if I'd ever had it before, and I said no. She said, "Well, we're going to give you this half milligram that's going to put you out while we're doing the biopsy." Okay, here we go. And she started saying, asked me what my birth date was as she gave it to me, and I think I got to the month and the day, and that was it. That's all I
Yeah.
remember.
No, I
Yeah.
don't know what they gave me, dude. When I had my my rotator cuff rebuilt, um, it was the weirdest damn thing. I mean, first of all, I've never been put under before like that, and so when they're like, "All right, count backwards from 10," and I think I got to like 7 or 8, and I was out. And then when I woke up, my whole right arm was just dead. Like I couldn't move it. It was like paralyzed. It was the weirdest thing. In fact, my mom was there. Luckily, my mom was there, and I was like, "Holy crap! Do I still have an arm? I can't feel anything. I can't move. I can't even wiggle my fingers. Nothing." And it was like that almost 24 hours, man. I
Yeah.
could not hardly move my arm at all.
Yeah. Well,
Like
I
a
don't know
weird.
how much, whether it was a microgram or a milligram, whatever that half of whatever gram that they gave me, just that stuff was, I mean, it put me out. And I had no side effects. I mean, I came right out of it when they give me I don't know if they gave me Narcan or what once they were done, but I woke up to a pretty nurse standing by me and, "Hi, how are you? You know, I feel great."
What's up, Backwoods? Hey, what's up, Racer? See, David T.
Backwoods
Good to see you.
Law. That's a new one.
Doc Mac, in case I forgot to say hello, good to see you, brother. Yeah, it's amazing what they can
Who's
do with
Backwoods Law?
Backwoods Law. Just a friend of the channel.
Okay. I can't say that I recall seeing him here, but welcome aboard. And
Yeah, he got.
if
Yeah, he
you're a
got.
lawyer,
Maybe
if
a
you
backwoods
if
lawyer.
you're a lawyer or the law, we appreciate that.
No, Milkmaid, you gotta check me out after dark, dude. That's when you're gonna see me loopy. Got the pretty nurse. See what else do we got going on in the 2A community?
Well, I see ammo starting to come back, and prices are starting to come down, and people are still spending a lot of money on the high price stuff as they find it because they're still in a panic and stockpiling. And but buy what you can afford. I always say. And one of the problems though that I'm seeing is because of the price of ammo, people are not out practicing as much as they could or as they should to keep in practice with their firearms. And especially these new gun owners, they might have bought guns and a few boxes of ammo and they're not out practicing learning how to use it. So it's like any other tool. You need to know how to use it. You need to know how it functions. You need to know how to tear it apart, put it back together, clean it. and but you need to stay proficient with it. So ghost load the poverty. Yeah, Avon, speak for myself. Well, you know me. I'm I've got enough to go out and practice, and I've been busy again today, starting to do more reloading. There's some of my nice 45 cows that I put together, and so I can keep in practice.
What's up, Red Dog? Yeah, it's messed up. I was telling Moose that before this. I had my original little thumbnail for this stream was a box of reloaded rounds, flat tipped, and they had little smiley face engraved in them or imprinted in them, and YouTube wouldn't let that go through, so I had to change it.
I guess they probably banned my titty bullets too.
Your titty bullets. Yep. You're gonna get me kicked off YouTube.
Yeah.
What's up,
Wish you were
Moonchild?
here, AV. I could fix you up with some shotgun food. We could sit and load you a bunch of ammo if you was here. I found a whole box of today 25 rounds of solid brass 12 gauge shotgun shells that are empty that I can load up. I can get the old solid brass military ones. Hey, Moonchild. Good to see you.
One gun, one box of bullets.
Yeah.
I don't know, unless that box is like a crate.
Yeah.
What's up, Sassy Valley?
I mean, right now, there's a lot of ammo. Places like Center Fire has ammo out of Kentucky. Palmetto has ammo. You just got to look
I heard
around.
that.
I'm seeing prices on 9mm ranging from $22.99 to $29.99 a box, but Academy Sports has it. If you've got an Academy store near you for $16 to $18 a box for 9mm. There's a lot of 5.56 ammo, a lot of 7.62 by 39 ammo. We're starting to see 300 blackout come back now, 45 automatic and stuff like that. And I just saw that Fiat is making Arkansas 12 gauge rounds. So they must have part of their plant in Little Rock, Arkansas that they just built up and running because it says Fiat, Arkansas on the box. So they're coming online.
Red Dog, I am much better.
Yeah,
Actually,
Max.
part of last night was all the peroxide rinses I've been doing. It killed the infection, so I'm pretty much 100% again. Thank you for asking, though. I appreciate that. Yeah, Joe, it's all put in magazines. Couch Cat says the city where she works is now a gun-free zone. Like a sign ever stopped anybody. City
What
council
city is
voted
that, I
again.
wonder?
So you know what, Couch Cat? What I would do is next election, vote the city council out. They voted it in, vote them the fuck out.
Right. I would approach my county sheriff, who the sheriff is an elected official, and I would have request him to pursue sanctuary county status for your county you live in. He is the ultimate law enforcement officer.
It's
We did
true.
that here along with all the surrounding counties, and we got so many counties. Our governor declared Oklahoma now a gun sanctuary state. The whole state is a gun sanctuary state. So
So
it
yeah, so
started
is
with our
Arizona.
sheriffs. Yep. And we're gaining ground. We're slowly but surely we're gaining ground as more people see that their rights are being trampled on.
Well,
Winchester,
that's what
Virginia.
well, that's what I
Man,
like. That's what I like about a lot of these states. And their governors are standing up to the Biden administration, saying, "Look, you know what? We're sick and tired. We know you're going to try and push this, pass that, do this, do that. We're not going to do it. You could pass whatever law saying
right?
every Tuesday you have to wear pink. Guess what? No, we're not going to do that." Which is basically about what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
Overstepping motherfuckers.
Yep. Okay, Doc Mac. Hi, Mrs. Doc Mac.
Oh, Pepper Tribe was on with Monograph. I know that. See, I think he was on with shit. He had Native, Hutch. I can't remember who else. I caught a bit of that stream, but Milkmaid, pretty in pink. My God, give me a break.
Oh, and I don't know if we touched on this last weekend. A guy in California was charged with a misdemeanor crime. Um, and it was nothing violent or anything else. Well, he moved out of state to, I think it was Ohio. Well, the prosecutor in California wanted him to surrender, found out he had guns, and wanted him
Oh
to
yeah, with the
surrender
group.
all of his guns to an FFL for a year.
Yeah.
When it was nothing gun related. It was a misdemeanor,
Mm-hmm.
and an Ohio judge said no, it's not going to happen. You're
Yep.
overstepping your bounds, and he's in Ohio now, so he has to go back to California and do 40 hours of community service for something besides his church.
Oh,
But
I thought
the
I thought
Ohio
he
judge would not let his guns be taken away from him from
I
California.
thought he was doing the community service in Ohio.
Well, he wherever he's got to do it, but I mean,
Yeah.
they didn't take his
No,
guns away from him
I
at the request of this California DA.
yeah, I heard about that just like yesterday or so. Somebody was covering
Yep,
that, and I was like, "What the?" I think it was it Will over there at freaking what is it, Second Amendment News?
yeah,
Um, but yeah, he was mentioning that. I was like, "What? There's no way California freaking doesn't have the power to tell somebody that's almost all the way across the country, pretty much opposite, and oh, you've got to give up your
yeah.
guns for yeah, kiss my ass. Not to mention the fact, like you said, the charge was never had anything to do about the guns.
Right. It was all a misdemeanor, whatever it was, and I'm beginning to think that DA doesn't stand for district attorney anymore. You can fill in the blanks.
Dumbass.
Now, that's my case. Hey, John T.
What's
Good to
up,
see you.
Waterwell?
And our little town here now does no longer has a police officer. We fought. My buddy has been fighting the city council. He tried to tell them that the guy wasn't lawful to become our interim chief of police. They put him on anyway and said, "Oh yes, the lawyer told them they could." Well, CLEAT, which is the certified law enforcement training facility that certifies all law enforcement in Oklahoma, researched it and called them up and told them no, he can't be interim chief of police. His time is up. He has to go through more training in that. So they had to let him go. So we don't even have a police officer here now. And we've
I
got a
don't need one.
man that is qualified with all the papers, and he's put in his application, and they don't want to interview him. There's political bullshit going on in small town America too, people.
Yep, yep. Hey, I appreciate that, Tally. Thank you for the donation. I smell genocide. Abandoned Walmarts have guillotines and plastic caskets. I don't know if they even have caskets. I thought they just
Carmen,
had body bags.
yeah,
That's kind of crazy
AV
though.
Long,
The one
AV,
cop, so you're telling me the one cop you had out there, they removed him because they said he didn't have enough training.
yeah, because he wasn't legal to be running as interim chief. He was a reserve officer, and his time had run out serving a reserve officer. So you have to go back to CLEAT school and get extra certification to become a full time police officer. Well, they tried to do a mumbo jumbo runaround, and CLEAT called them up and said, "No, we've checked all the records and everything else. He can't be a police officer there. He's got to go back to school for so many months." So they hired him at our, with our objections. We objected to him being hired, and they hired him anyway. Now they had to get rid of him. So now we don't have a police officer. So I'm back to policing my own property.
Well, I think that's the way it should be for all of us. I mean, honestly, when seconds count,
Yeah.
police are minutes away, if not longer. Hell, and in certain places, they won't even come. If you hear a noise outside and you dial 911 because you're an idiot, um, you know,
Yeah. I
they
got
might
my
show up.
stinking badge. I got my stinking
Seriously,
badge. I got my stinking badge.
don't need no stinking batches.
Uh,
Is there really underground tunnels connecting Walmarts? I don't know. I mean, I know that there's a lot of earth boring machines that dig tunnels. I've seen a few of them. I don't know. I've heard that the government has tunnels that go state to state. I don't know how much truth there is behind that. I've never been in one. I've never known anybody that's been in one. But this is the
they'd be
government we're
flooded
talking about.
with water here. They'd be flooded with water here, so I can't even I can't even put in a damn tornado shelter without it being a complete sealed waterproof unit. They built
Hmm.
one here for the town, and it floods with water. So when you go in there, there's liable to be snakes and everything else in a major storm, and it starts filling up with water because the water table here where we're by this lake is too high.
Nicole D, good to see you. Yeah, I might look at all this. That's all right. You haven't seen my bedroom. Probably not quite like Moose Man's, but
Well, mine's a mess right now because I'm unloading ammo and I got the place stacked up with bullets and casings and powder and tools and ammo cans and everything else because it's too hot to work in the shop and do anything, but I can sit in here in the house in the air conditioner and reload. So to keep my mind off my troubles and to keep my ammo addiction fueled, I reload
you know that
and
since
reload
I got
and reload.
Navy vet in here, I wanted to bring this up. Because your little icon there, I've seen like the same icon on a guy, and his screen name was Sailor's Spirit. And I saw the
Hmm.
icon. I was like, wow, that looks like Navy vet. Did he change his name? I'm guessing not though.
Wow. Reading the chat here.
Yeah.
Good to see Daniel Bro Bear, my buddy up there in Greenland.
Greenland.
Hi, Daniel.
Nobody
Yeah,
dies.
Greenland.
Yeah. No, they don't die there. They get raped there. I don't know, man. I don't trust furries. Well, John, a lot of people have been moving. They've been moving away from a lot of these liberal areas, and not always for the right reasons, but a lot of them are leaving for the right reasons because they're just sick and tired of the politics there. I mean, what was it? California lost one or two House seats because so many people had left.
Yeah.
Blaine, what's going on, man?
Yeah, I heard that
I haven't seen
yeah,
you in
I heard
weeks.
that pork in California is fixing to go up because they made some law on how you had to house your pigs and treat them. I guess you got to put your pigs in a mansion and treat them like kings. In other words, before you butcher them. So I heard that bacon is going to be like $15 to $20 a pound in California, and hams are going
Good.
to be probably $30 or $40 a pound because of the new regulations on how you have to house your pigs. When you start attacking bacon, people are going to get upset.
Carolina. Carolina, who asked to be wrenched on tribes? Daniel? I don't know. Hey, see,
I see guardsman on in here. Good to see you, Lane.
Raggedy Man. Amen. Yeah, at least 30,000. At least. Yep. Good point. I like how he does that. Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm. They locked Doc Mack out again, and he had to get back in.
That's weird.
YouTube has been doing some screwy shit. I know that.
Oh my God. All
They've
right.
been going
So
in people's streams and
yeah, taking down comments. I've heard that. Um, so with this whole monetization thing, it's like I've gotten this recurring notice saying, "Hey, your names don't match." And so finally, yesterday, I had my sister come over, and me and her are going through my entire Google account, YouTube account, everything. And it was so confusing because when I first started my Google account, it was under it was under a different account than my Dangerous Freedom account. And then it
right.
turned into the Dangerous Freedom account. So like we had to dig and dig for like an hour and a half before I think we finally got it straightened out. There, and oh my God, just like it was just a pain in the butt, man. I'll tell you what. But I think we got it, which is good because that's going to be about $300 payday for me.
Woohoo! You can go buy you a case of beer and maybe a bag
Shit,
of chips. Way prices are going.
shit. Are you kidding me? I could maybe pay part of the electric and part of the rent.
Yeah.
What's up, Best Life? For beating up a nurse? No, no. Just like I said, my sister and I were busy working, freaking working late. I mean, she was here till about 7:30. It's all good, man. It's all good. So, you got any questions for Moose Man or myself?
I'm always up for answering questions if I can, or pointing people in the right direction.
Rainy Steps. Well, good to see you.
$3.99 Canadian. All right.
Well, Milkmaid, you got to think about it like this. They've already got pretty much all the info they need on the Kraken. You mean, are you talking about the tax audit thing going on? Um, no, not a whole lot of new news, especially down here in Arizona. Um, I know that they had a hearing not too long ago. They released some of the info. They found a lot of double votes, multiple votes. Um, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, the best we can hope for is, well, like they already are, putting more restriction or tightening down on our elections. You know what I mean? No more. You just walk in there and vote, and you're good. Or mail-in voting, that's gone.
Then I have to deal with ECOs and TDOs, Fourth Amendment violations.
Rip curl. That's nasty. You flick it,
Can't
dude.
can't say that I have.
I don't know what the say ECI orders. I don't know what orders
I
those
really
are.
wished I could see. Yeah, I really wished I did have a crystal ball to tell me what's coming, because still the only thing I'm seeing is our devaluation of our dollar every day. In other words, every time it costs you more for something that we were paying less for, it means your dollar is worth less money. And we're at the point now of deficit spending, to the point that they're basically printing worthless money and
Mm-hmm.
spending it like water. It's got to break somewhere. Um, there's a lot of essays out there on about that. And what do I think of red flag laws? I think they're unconstitutional, completely
Mm-hmm.
unconstitutional. If it doesn't follow due process, it's bullcrap.
All right. I don't think he was asking that. He's talking about.
No, there was another question about red flag.
Are you talking about thermite? But to get shit started, Moose, what do
Yeah,
you
he asked
think?
about red
Red
flag
flag.
laws.
I no. I think he's talking a red flag event. Yeah, flag waving event.
Oh,
Maybe I don't know. Maybe he was talking about
beats
red
me. I'm
flag
not
law.
out there. I'm waving the black flag. We the people will defend. I'm waving the black flag.
Oh, when it's gonna pop off. Um, it's gonna be different in different areas. That's all I could say. I mean, if you live like in the middle of Detroit or in Chicago, something like that. Okay, yeah, thermite red flag laws. Okay, yeah.
Red
But if
flag
you
laws.
live in
Yeah,
if you live
that's
in areas like that, you're much higher likelihood to see it pop off before areas like where I live. I mean, like they don't even protest down here. I mean, they try and protest, but as soon as it gets violent or they start burning stuff, it not only the police but the citizens come out and start putting them down. I mean, see, what was the last one? I think it was like in 2019. Uh, Somebody lit a tree on fire down in downtown Phoenix, and one of the store owners came out with a hose and put it out, and the cops shut down the entire protest for one tree. Now, see, if you live in Chicago or one of those other places, you could have 5 buildings on fire, and the police are going to just be standing there saying, "Don't do that. Don't do that. It's not very nice." Whereas ours come out with pepper balls and rubber bullets and be like, "No, you're not burning that." Bam. No, you're not burning that.
yeah,
Bam. And they know
yeah,
if they don't do it, the citizenry will stand up and handle it for them, which I'd be fine with that too. They can just come by with a street sweeper the next morning and pick up all the dead bodies. Now, I'm not promoting anything
yeah,
illegal and lawful. I'm just saying, in certain areas, that might be the best. I mean, look at like the situation Kyle Rittenhouse was in. The cops were what
mhm,
5 blocks away when all that shit went down.
yeah,
Thank God that kid had the wherewithal and the training to be able to be knocked to the ground, have a gun pointed at him, and still have the wherewithal to not miss shoot one single person.
right, right,
Man, that's some
right,
impressive skills, man.
yeah. I'll be honest with you, folks in the chat. I was a police officer. I'm retired now, basically. I still have a lot of friends in government agencies, in police forces. Even some in ATF, U.S. Marshals. A lot of higher ups in the Air Force and that still. But I was one of the officers that understood the Constitution that I was swearing to uphold and defend.
Mm-hmm.
And I personally, and I implore any police officer out there that's listening or may see this broadcast, irregardless of what your orders are from your superiors, if it's unconstitutional, you need to stand up and say, no, this is wrong. I'm not going to enforce something unconstitutional. I'm not going to be part of a red flag confiscation without due process.
Mm-hmm.
A state trooper one time in Alaska told me, he said, I joined the NRA, and this was years ago, because if they take the citizens' guns away, they're going to take my gun away next.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I got to thinking about that. If they disarm the citizens, then they will disarm the police. And I've seen that happen in other countries. And only a few specialized police get to have guns at that point. Well, you
Yep.
cannot enforce crime um, without a gun. I'm sorry, it doesn't happen. And I guess these bozos don't look at history at prohibition. When they outlawed alcohol, it opened up the black market, it opened up for the smugglers, and there was alcohol freely flowing. The same thing when they outlawed drugs. Drugs have been all over our country ever since. The only
Yep.
reason we've got some states now with marijuana legal is because people did civil disobedience. They said, "Screw you, we're going to smoke our dope,"
I
and they
know,
kept
right?
it up. And right, and then they finally got pro marijuana people in to legalize it in some of these states, even though the federal government, see, that was another lie by the Harris Biden administration. We're going to legalize marijuana on the federal level. Hadn't happened yet. And all it would take is basically for the president to get hold of the drug enforcement laws or whatever, have Congress decriminalize it. They lied to people to get their votes and they haven't done it yet. So it's still against the law federally. Prohibition should have taught them a lesson about when you tell people they can't have something, they're going to get it. It opens up a black market. It will be the same with guns, like it was with drugs or alcohol, if they try to
Well,
ban guns. So,
that's why they have so many alphabet agencies that, I mean, well, when they made drugs illegal, what was the CIA doing? Pumping fucking crack cocaine into the
bringing
inner
drugs.
cities.
Right.
I
Well, they
mean,
were
so
flying cocaine into Homestead Air Force
they
Base.
still had their hand
I
in the
watched
pot.
it. I watched it. I watched the cocaine being flown into Homestead Air Force Base in Florida. The plane would be refueled and fly right to Washington, D.C., and Joe Biden was one of the biggest customers for cocaine. He was. And this is no bullcrap. Our DEA and our CIA has been controlling drugs, and our DEA is controlling drugs because if you look, our border and customs people do as good a job as they can do. There is absolutely no way, and I mentioned this on another stream last night. There is no way the tonnage of drugs can be on the American street if the government wasn't behind it. There's no way.
Nope.
So there's something really wrong with our system, and it's all about greed and money and power. And we've got a corrupt government. There's just no doubt about it. And I ain't afraid to say it. We
Nope.
got a few
Neither am
good
I.
people in there, but we got a bunch of crumbs in there.
I think I would say it's more the bureaucracy. A buddy of mine, Good Luck America, Rick over there, um, he looked up the original government, and you had the president, the vice president, and you had like three staff member, or what was it that he was looking up? How many actual seats are held in the executive office. There was like 4 originally, and then he's like, okay, well, let's look at today. And he's like, well, we got 16, and I'm thinking, no, we got like more like 24. And sure as shit, he started going through all the fucking supervisors, and it's like, you got the board of education, and I mean, just 24 of them. We went from 4 to 24, and then the bureaucracy that goes in behind it. Every new 3-letter agency that comes out has to have somebody up there, right there next to the president, whispering in his ear, being like, "Oh, we need this. Hey, we need this," and they work outside of the law. But look at the ATF, man. The ATF is coming out trying to make up law as they go. I mean, this is getting fucking ridiculous, people. The bureaucracy needs to be ended. In fact, I don't even know how this thing even came to form, but it is the most corrupt part of the. It is the swamp. The individual people.
Yeah.
Hey, we can manage
Yeah.
them. Well, at least the president should be able to. But then again, even Donald Trump couldn't manage them all. I mean, they are
Yeah.
just too
And the
corrupt. They were
funny
more corrupt than Trump thought.
and the funny part is people like me and like A.V. Lawns, who's a licensed gun dealer, and people who've had FFLs and collectors and all that, we actually know the laws better than the ATF agents they send out to us.
Mm-hmm.
We know the laws better than they do. I've had them try to tell me that my cannon was a destructive device. No, it's not. It's clearly spelled out in the 68 Gun Control Act that a muzzle loading cannon, like a replica of a Civil War cannon or similar, is not a destructive device. But you'd be surprised at how many agents think that a black powder cannon is a destructive device and want to charge you for it. And you got to show them the law. I mean, it gets crazy, but that's what we've got. They're sending out untrained people on things, and in some cases, the ATF, you get good supervisors. They know the laws and stuff, and they have to reel in their own agents. I will say that about it. But what we're saying is there's good and bad in every agency. There's good FBI agents out there. There's bad FBI agents that are working in the uppity ups, is what it seems like to me. You got good
Oh
people
yeah,
out there
yeah,
trying to
yeah.
do a job, but you've got some bad mamma jammers up there at the top doing all this
Yep.
illegal stuff, and it makes everybody look bad. It makes us all look bad.
Gonna have to bounce. Okay, milkmaid. Ghost is. You'd rather go watch Ghost, huh? Okay, that's cool. Tell him I said hey.
Yep. My cop buddies that are still in law enforcement are doing a good job here where I'm at here in southeast Oklahoma. Not much has changed. We've got a pro gun sheriff. Um, he wants people treated fairly here. But if you're breaking the law and you're stealing or burglary or something or killing people, whatever, they're going to be on you like Donkey Kong. And so,
Right
but
on, Doc.
it's going to be bigger. It's going to be different in the big cities because you've got these mayors and city councils or whatever, or what do they call them?
Police. I mean, see,
Police
that's
commissioners,
that's another
police
thing.
commissioners, and stuff
Yeah,
that
that's
dictate.
another
Yeah,
thing that you need to, because now sheriffs are duly elected. Okay, they are elected by the people, just like the
right.
governor, mayors, everything. They are duly elected. Police, police captains, chiefs, no, they are not elected. They are promoted, and they're usually promoted by like a mayor or somebody like that. And usually they end up being a freaking 100-pound woman. It's like 5'2", which I never really understood. I mean, why in the hell are you going to put a woman that you wouldn't even want on a single person stop? You know what I mean?
And I wished I had a simple solution to some things we may encounter in the future. I know there's a lot of people out there saying, "Oh, we need to get up and we need to do something." I study history. I look at history. I look at what did
Right,
our
Malachi.
founding fathers do when we took
Malachi, you have
on
a good night.
the largest. We took on the British Empire, the largest
Mhm.
navy and army in the world at the time that covered the entire world. The British Empire spanned all around the globe. We didn't go on their soil and go kick their ass. We prepared, we sat back, we kept our muskets ready, we kept our cannon ready, and we waited for them to come after to take away our guns and to bring it to us. And then we kicked their ass.
Yep.
So that was a very effective move on our part. And then we took it to some naval battles with them on this side of the ocean. We didn't go on their side of the ocean. We made them, stressed them out, and made them come to us. So it's going to have to be kind of the same thing. We're going to have to be ready when the time comes and it's going to be your personal decision as to what you do to defend the Constitution as you see fit. And if you're afraid of dying, you might as well give up now and turn in your guns. You can't be afraid of dying if you're going to stand up for your country, just like any other soldier that's put on the uniform and been shipped across the ocean to do a battle because of a bunch of politicians got into a pissing match. We're talking about our country here. So you have to make your own decision as to what you're going to do and how you're going to do it when the time comes.
Can't argue that one. No doubt. Red dog, black flag. We hold no quarter.
That's it.
Amen. You know, God, and I was rewatching a movie called Rampage, and if you haven't seen the movie, it's a 3-part series. But anyways, he talks about overpopulation of the planet, and that's creating a lot of the problems that we're seeing. And so people have to die. People have to die. I mean, for every 10,000 that we lose, that's another 5,000 more people that can eat. What's up, Hang in
And on a
Arizona?
national level, what is it? Dangerous freedom, what is it on a national level? 575 people working, well, I'm going to say half or better, are working to destroy this country. And it's only 575 people out of 360 million Americans in the United States.
Well, therein lies the thing, though. I mean, just like you were talking about the Revolutionary War, it took the rebels, the colonists, it took them a matter of getting the people's trust. I mean, because even back then, there were marauder gangs for the Tories. I call them the Tories. They're basically redcoats.
Mm-hmm.
They support all this crap.
Right.
Nowadays, we call them Karens. They're more like they're the ones that want more police to go out and beat up people and shoot them and stuff like that. Idiots. Well, once we have the majority of the people on the good guys side, on the rebel side, on the freedom side, then we'll be able to wipe them out, no problem. It's just where do we lie? Because you got mainstream media constantly fucking lying to you. You got the government constantly fucking lying to you. But when I talk to people like you and everybody in the chat, it's like I'm getting a totally different vibe from this. It's like a lot of us are ready to fucking go. A lot of people are saying, hey, I'm not getting any younger here. Let's fucking do this now. And I totally get that sentiment. Because I'm not getting any younger. You're not getting any younger.
Right.
Yes, Daniel, and thank you.
Till I
Yeah,
get my
yes,
health back, I'm just basically
that's exactly
I'm
the point.
yeah,
That's exactly the point. The
right.
Marxist trick is to make people think there are more of them than there actually is. And I do believe that is the case right now.
Right.
Hold on, I gotta get some more light in here.
And I want people. I'm gonna ask a favor of everybody out there in the chat. I want you to start monitoring your local area and listen for any news on gun shops being broken into and guns being stolen. We just had an incident here, one of our big gun shops in the local county. I got a sneaking suspicion that there's a reason why a bunch of people were brought across the border and then transported around without going through normal channels, in other words, by this administration, that these people may be coming up here as foreign national fighters. And so I want people to start paying attention if they hear that gun shops and stuff are being broken into and guns and ammunition being stolen, because this could be a sign of something bigger to come. I may be wrong. I may be out there in left field, but I like to be prepared to look and start gathering intel. Because if we start hearing of hundreds of gun shops being broke into and their guns being stolen, even with the security measures they have in place, it's going to alert me that something big's fixing to pop off.
Yes, Gloria. This is actually my main channel. This is actually my monetized channel, which is why I don't have a whole panel of guests yelling and cussing. But yeah, this is, I love this channel, and I love having Moose on here because, like, you got a gun question, he's got the answer. You got any kind of question, he's pretty much got the answer.
And as far as the UN, don't even worry about the United Nations, people. Go look and see how many actual troops they have. They don't have 250,000 troops of UN soldiers with all the countries involved ready to come here and fight. We've got 30 million deer hunters. Our deer hunters are trained snipers that sit with their camouflage up in trees with high-powered rifles waiting to get that buck. We got them so way outnumbered. I am not worried about no blue helmet UN coming in here, because actually the United States military was the majority of the United Nations forces.
We still
as far as NATO troops go. But you add up, but you still add up all these other. There's only a few 100,000 of all these other countries together. So I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about. I don't think China would come over here. If you see that stuff made in China doesn't hold up, I'm not sure that half the aircraft would make it across the ocean before they dropped into the ocean from failure of parts.
Yeah, exactly. You know, everybody's like,
I guess that's why I look at things.
A deer rifle is more powerful. I mean, you know, they made the AR-15 so it would be a little bit less lethal. That way, you shoot somebody with it, it's going to take 2 guys to drag that guy away. So then you're down 3 guys. Whereas, you know, you got 380 or higher. You know, you shoot somebody, they're out of the game. You know, that's like a pawn being taken off the chessboard. Although,
Yeah.
that was good. I like the strategy though. Hey, we can get three guys out of the way or two guys out of the way with one bullet, then that works. Well, thank you
And
for
then you
that,
got to
Gloria. I
understand
appreciate
in
that.
back in, yeah, back in the old days in the 1700s, they formed their skirmish lines, and each set of troops was looking at the other set of troops, and they just walked up and started shooting at each other. Now it's a whole different ball game. We have learned to hide in the
Oh
woods
yeah,
and snipe your ass from hundreds of yards away.
you won't even see us. Won't
Right,
even see us, man.
right.
And how many veterans do we have out there that have ghillie suits, that have night vision, that have their guns loaded and locked, you know what I mean?
Several million, several million. There's several million,
And they still remember that oath that they
but there's
swore.
80 to 100 million gun owners. There's 80 to a million, 100 million gun owners in the United States. Like I said, we got at least 30 million deer hunters. We've got other people that hunt. We've got competition shooters and all that. But there's 80 to 100 million gun owners. That's why we can't give up our guns. I don't care what they do about the Second Amendment. The Second Amendment, my gun says I'm going to enforce the Second Amendment for me. They're not taking my guns. You're going to have to kill me to take my gun from my cold dead hands, as Charlton Heston said. I feel the same way. I'm not giving up my
Mike
gun.
White, Mike White, I would say, uh, I don't know about a buck. I would take a medium sized deer though. I think, but I mean, depending on how accurate you are. I mean,
We
yeah,
use we use 5.56 2.23 for deer and hogs, coyotes. Um, you could take antelope with them in that size game. It's a little light for an elk or a moose.
hmm
Black bear are usually smaller. You could probably get away with a black bear, but our biggest use for them here is deer, coyotes, and wild hogs.
Well, the only thing with that though, AV Aaron, is I know for a takedown, yeah, you would want at least probably a 30 caliber. I agree with that, but just the accessibility and like the AR-15 is the most popular sporting rifle in America, and I mean you're gonna be able to find ammo, you're gonna be able to find parts always, day in day out. I mean, hell, I've got a shelf full of parts.
Yeah. Are they allowing rifles in Pennsylvania now? Because Pennsylvania used to be shotgun only. Because my boss used to go hunt there, but he took his 410 and used slugs to get by the shotgun rule in Pennsylvania. I didn't know if they'd opened it up now to hunting rifles or what.
Aaron, I don't know if he still can though. Depends on whether he's got his
Oh yeah.
rifle.
Oh,
You got your
I
rifle.
still can. Believe me. I still got all these trophies and shooting medals up here from whooping them boys in Louisiana and Texarkana. So I've been looking for more victims. Nobody wants to shoot against me anymore. You can use hunting rifle. No MSR. Okay.
Would you say a light on a boomstick or a pistol would be? I don't know. Okay, for me, I on my main rifle, yes, I do keep a light on it. That way, I can't. But it's a bright light, so I could also blind them. But at the same time, you want to be able to recognize your target because I mean, what if it's your 20-year-old, and he went out and had a fucking bender with his friends and he's trying to get in the house and it sounds like he's trying to break in, but he's really just too drunk to put the key in the door. You know, I mean, you don't want to accidentally shoot like that. And I know accidents
Right,
happen, dude. So I do believe in
right.
having a light with you,
Unfortunately,
which is why I always keep a flashlight close by, just in case.
yeah. But lights and lasers work in both ways. They can also let your enemy know where you are.
Mm-hmm.
That's something
This
you
is
have to
true.
consider. And I'll get if you've never
Well,
looked through night vision and watched somebody with a laser on their rifle, you got them. I mean, you can see their beam, you can see it go right back to where they are, and it actually lights them up as a target with night vision.
okay. Here's
So
something.
that's something you have to consider.
Here's something, Moose, because I was watching one of my friends' channels, and he's ex-military, and he would, you know, because normally on my rifle, because you know I hold it, I'm right-handed, and you know, I always shoot with my right side, so I had the light on the left side, and I noticed that he had it on the right side of the rail, and I
Hmm.
was like, why do you keep it on the right side? Are you left-handed? Yeah, and he's like, no, it's because when you turn that light on, they can still see you. But if you've got it on the opposite side, they're going to be shooting away from your head instead of directly at your fucking head. And I was like, wow,
Right,
that's a really good point. And I mean,
right.
I switched mine over that same day. I was like, okay, you know, and okay, now I have to maneuver my thumb
Yeah,
around a little bit more, whatever. But no, I mean, you know, like you said, you know, once you turn that light on, it's a dead giveaway where your location is, and then you just shoot at it. But if you're shooting at the light and it's directly in front, like when it was left-handed, it was directly in front of my head. You know, it's like, nah, that's not good. Made a good point.
right. And as a police officer, what I used to do is I would carry my flashlight in my left hand, draw my pistol with my right hand, and then what I did was come across with my flashlight out to the right side of my body and be looking down my pistol for that same reason. In other words, if they shoot at the light, they're going to shoot
Yeah,
over here. I've got them lit up though, and I'm going to be on target with my pistol. So I just use my arm as basically a shooting bench, a shooting rest. Yeah, exactly. And then if you like I did, I worked a lot of nights, so I was able to get out in the dark and get your eyes actually adjusted to the ambient light of what's out there. And you'd be surprised what your eyes can actually see once your pupils open up and without a light source, and then be able to turn on night vision, you know, to do scans when I was looking for burglars and crackheads running the streets. And but I got to where I could see a lot better in the dark once I got my eyes adjusted to it.
yeah, especially with the full moon. And see, that's the
Yep.
nice thing about down here in Arizona is even with a half moon, usually our skies are so clear that it really doesn't take much. And I mean, you can see where you're walking, everything. Yeah.
Yep.
Not
I
too
have a
many
nice
nights.
pair of night owl binoculars that work really well.
I can't wait until night vision gets cheap enough to where more and more of us can own them. And I know they're slowly getting there, but I mean, to get to the setups that like
I'm
our
hoping they
soldiers.
get I'm hoping they get the ATN scopes, all the bugs worked out of the new ATN scopes that are $600 to $800 with day and night vision in them, and they actually tie into your phone and with some other stuff you can add. You can actually it will show you where other people are if you're out hunting with other people and stuff. It's a really neat scope I've just heard they've had some issues with the ATM stuff, but they look awesome. I mean, they've got built-in range finders, wind doping, the whole 9 yards that you can see right in your scope, kind of like the high-end military scopes. But they start
Mm.
out $600 to $800 all the way up to, $4,000 or $5,000.
Yeah,
So
exactly. Yeah, the amount of money they put into the rigs that the military boys wear. Ooh,
your tax dollars at work.
well, out there protecting the poppy fields.
That's it.
We got to make sure that Big Pharma has all the drugs they need.
Yeah.
I got to be careful what I say here. I don't want to get banned off YouTube. That's misinformation. The government doesn't do that. It's like, well, wait a second. Um, Fast and the Furious. How many other times have they actually been busted? How many times have they come out? What was it back in the what 70s when they were talking to like the director of the CIA? It was like, well, do you have operatives inside the networks? And I'm like, yes. I mean, even back then, they still had their operatives out there spreading what I would call misinformation. They were propaganda, stuff like that. Even though back then they were supposedly not allowed to use propaganda. I think it was Obama that went ahead and removed that little clause. So ever since Obama removed that little clause, now CNN can just come out or any tabloid can come out and spew whatever they want, make shit up as they go, and then when they do finally get busted, what they do is on the 10th page, they'll put a little retraction. Oh, we're sorry about
Yeah.
a week ago's paper.
The
This
damage
this
is
was wrong.
already done.
Yeah, the damage was already done. Exactly.
Yeah.
What's up, Debo?
Yeah, now I guess I don't know if you heard, but the FDA now wants to globally outlaw kratom. They want to ban the sale of kratom and ban the exportation of it from Indonesia and all. For those of you who don't know what kratom is a relative of the coffee plant that's ground into a powder. There are different strains of it, and it's a pain reliever. It acts like an opiate without the side effects. It's not addictive. It kills pain. So, from what I understand now, the pharmaceutical companies have synthesized kratom. So now they're trying to get the FDA to outlaw the actual natural herb so people just can't go buy it. In other words, you got to go get a prescription for their pharmaceutical painkiller. So we've been sending letters to it's going before the World Health Organization, the FDA. So the Kratom
The who?
Association is the WHO. Yeah, the FDA is going to the WHO to try and get kratom banned across the planet, basically. Another step on by pharmaceuticals taking away something natural that works for people who can't necessarily get opiates or, with all this freeze on that, like me. I've got cancer, I've had surgery, my doctor won't give me pain pills. I don't know. Oh, you need to go to the emergency room and see if they'll give them to you. No, you're my doctor. So instead, I come home. I couldn't get pain pills. I go back on the kratom. I'm able to function. I was able to go shopping today. I'm able to unload groceries. I might have a little pain, but it's manageable.
Mm-hmm.
But so it's just another substance that the government's trying to take away from us.
Yeah, Daniel. Outlawing a natural herb sounds like marijuana all over again. Yeah.
Yep.
And in a sense, you'd be correct on that. Yeah.
Yep.
Or at least they'll regulate it to where you got to have a license to buy it. You know, I mean that's how the government works, man. They got to have their hands into everything, dude. Like whatever happened to the old days when, when you got married and you went up before the minister. There was no lawyer present. There was no law present. I mean, well, maybe the sheriff showed up just to, because he was your friend. I don't know. But,
Yeah.
it's like there was nothing, no payments needed.
No
Now
license.
now
We didn't have to get a
everything is
marriage
a
license.
dude. Our government is the biggest racketeering ring ever, dude. I'm telling you, they took the mafia's tactics and they fucking, dude, like they just honed in on that shit, man. I'm telling you, those corrupt motherfuckers.
Yep. It is.
Well, I don't know how much they hate crypto, Bebo, because they're gonna have their own crypto here pretty soon. I mean, they're working on it really hard.
And if
Maybe
that'll
that's
be the doom of
partly the.
all of us.
I mean, back in 10 years ago, or maybe 15, when they started the direct deposit thing, where, okay, you just link in your bank account to your company, and then, instead of them handing you a check every Friday, it went directly into your account. That was convenient as fuck. That was one less stop you had to make on the way home, and nobody bitched about it. But here we are, 10, 15 years later, and it's like now everything they want it to be direct. Dude, about every third time I go to the store, and I usually only buy a few objects or items, so I usually just go through the self checkout. But even with 6 lanes, you'll still have at least one or two that says, card only, no cash. So
Right. But that's the thing. See, if we go a cashless society, and I pointed this out, when the government tracked down all that Bitcoin that was paid ransom for the pipeline, and it went
hmm
through 70 some servers before it finally, the majority of it ended up in one account who they thought was secure. The FBI went in there and took that Bitcoin out and got it back.
hmm
That's your proof right there. If everything is just numbers on a computer, then you can't hide it under your mattress anymore. You can't keep it in your pocket. And the government can come in and take it away from you at any given time and put you penniless for whatever. So if we go to a cashless society, it will be the doom of all of us.
I agree. JH, yes, I do plan on doing an after dark. Um, yeah, they want to take all our hard assets. Well, see, that's one thing I'm glad about is because I've been stocking up on hard assets for quite a while now. So,
Right.
I've got things I could trade because if they do take cash away, well, like you said earlier, dude, there's going to become a different market, a black market, if whatever you want to call it. But we will find other means to trade with, whether it be food, whether it be ammo, whether it be gold, silver, whatever.
That's exactly right.
But we will find another way. Right now, I mean, with the dollar, I mean, the only reason it has any value is because people still mostly treat it as like, oh, well, this is the official money currency, the official currency of the
It's still a
United
little
States.
trust.
But yeah,
It's
dude, the
called
trust
trust.
level
There's a
is.
little bit of trust.
hmm
Yep. And
But
but
like
if oil
I
ever
was
goes off
watching,
the dollar standard, then the whole thing changes
dude, I was
because
watching a
oil is
movie
on the
last
dollar
night.
standard.
I was watching a movie last night, one of the catastrophe movies. It was about a brand new ice age coming in, and somebody broke into a bank, and what were they doing? They were burning the money so they could stay fucking warm. The money was worthless at that point.
Yep.
Yeah, alcohol, JH. Alcohol is another good one.
Yeah.
Marijuana,
Yep.
definitely. If you can grow marijuana during the hard times, yeah, dude, you're gonna have a lot of friends. You're gonna have a lot of people around you that are gonna help you and help protect you.
What's the old saying? Dope will get you through times of no money better than no money will get you through times of dope. Or money will get you through times of no dope. Yeah.
The petrodollar, yeah, because it's all oil. Yeah, ever since we got off the gold standard, yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Lot lizards. Well, you know what, Wizard, that's fine because you know what? They'll be easy to take the money away from because lizards are easy to squash under your boot.
Don't get me
I
started.
wouldn't mind living in a mansion. You're like, where's the original homeowners? You might find a bone or two in the fireplace. They don't like the cold. Pussy ain't cheap.
Never has been, never will be.
No. The best part about that is they can wash it and reuse it.
Yep.
Oldest
One cost
profession
me
known to man.
$40,000 one time, plus my house
Man,
and my car. So.
you're gonna tell me that, dude? Even back when Jesus was walking this earth, man, they still had prostitutes.
Yeah.
Just some men are better at saying no. Then you get some of the lucky men, like Moose Man over here, found his life mate quite a while ago. You've been a fortunate man through your life. I'll tell you that. Kind of sucks what you're going
Well,
through right now. You
yeah,
ever heard
yeah,
anything
it
back from
does.
those damn? Have you heard back from that damn doctor about getting that shit cleared out of there?
No, it will be what's today, the 7th? 10 days from now I get interviewed by the surgical nurse, and that's almost a month in advance of the surgery.
Jeez.
So they're going to interview me on the 17th by phone, and I'll have more answers to my questions, and they'll have answers to their questions.
Cranky and pissy keeps old people. What's up, Hog?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, some old people are. Shit, my kids call me grumpy too, man. Then again, I
Yeah,
walk
well,
around the house. When you walk around the house and you see the mess that they fucking left, you can't help but get pissed off. It's like, come on, man, pick up after yourself, dude. And no matter how hard I try and instill that in them, clean as you go, dude. You use a pan, clean it off, dude. Don't let it sit in the damn sink for a week and a half.
well, with marriage, you actually go through 3 stages of sex. You go through everywhere sex, bedroom sex, and hallway sex. Everywhere sex is you're having sex all the time, everywhere in the house, and maybe out in remote locations and all that. Then it goes to bedroom sex where you get it a few times a week at night in the bedroom. And then you get to hallway sex where you pass each other in the hallway and say, fuck you, fuck you. That's where that's where me and Red are at now. That's where me and Red are at now. But we love it. It's cleaner.
Actually, John, no, I don't. You know what I did the last time that they left fucking sinks or dishes in the sink? Is I took them all out and I put them in a fucking cardboard box outside. I didn't throw them away. I just put them in a box. I was like, well, these fucking nasty, stinky things are out of here. So I put them outside so they could dry out and kill all the bugs. And so now when my kids go to look for, a pot, pan, whatever, it's like, well, where is it? I was probably in that box. Y'all would clean up after yourselves. Wouldn't happen. And it has worked. Trust me, it has worked. Like right now, I've got one cup in the sink, and it's not even mine. I mean, I don't leave dishes in the sink. I just don't.
You don't have a electric automatic dishwasher,
Oh, I do, and it's full of dirty
and they
dishes.
won't load it up and put the soap in and push a button. Come on,
No,
man.
I'm telling you, man, lazy fucking kids, man. But but then again, I've got my 20-year-old son. When he goes out to work, he might be out for 7 hours, 6 hours on service calls. Other days, he doesn't come home until, he does a full 12, 14-hour shift,
Yeah.
because they've got a huge install or something. Yeah, it's just, you never know. Some days he works overtime, other days he's done before 8 hours.
Well, he's still got to eat, so he still should be able to do the dishes.
Yeah.
And that's what they don't realize. I was single for a long time, and a lot of times, yeah, I didn't do it, but a lot of times, what I learned was when I had running water and I had hot water, is right after you get done eating, go ahead, squirt a little soap on there, run the hot water, scrub your dishes up, rinse them, do them right then, and put them in the rack to dry and be done with them. Don't let them sit and get crusty. And now in Alaska,
Hmm.
it was a little different story because I didn't have a lot of running water. A lot of times I didn't have hot water, so I had to heat up water. Some of my dishes did pile up in a tub till I got ready to make a big pot of hot water. But with modern day stuff now, I mean, you should be able to just go ahead and clean up your dishes real quick and put them in the rack and dry, and you're done right after you're done eating.
I agree.
So, and we buy a lot of paper plates here too. Me and Red save doing a lot of dishes by using paper plates for sandwiches, pie, whatever.
Yeah.
And you buy them cheap 9-inch, not the expensive old foam ones. Just buy the cheap 9-inch paper plates by bulk and use them and lose them.
Devo. When all the dishes are missing, check the kids' bedrooms. Dude, like,
Yeah,
we have a serious fork shortage over here, and which makes no sense because I've probably got 15 to 20 forks. But like you said, when they start missing, you start checking the kids' bedrooms. It's like, what the? He's got a stack of like 5 plates and forks, knives, everything. It's like, what the fuck are you doing, you hoarder? You little creepy hoarder. Dude, I ain't gonna tolerate that shit in my house, dude. We're not hoarders. I hate it when you type. Oh, yeah. What's up, Ty Man? No, that is bullshit though. When you're trying to eat something and you need a fork, you can't fucking find a fork, and you know that you've got probably 20 of them somewhere around your house. Yeah, I'm telling you, sometimes I feel like Homer Simpson with Bart, especially with my youngest boy. He reminds me of me so much. It's annoying because I don't listen to nobody. He doesn't listen to nobody. I mean, it's match made in hell. Yeah, go. Why you little? Like seriously. Oh man, sometimes I do want to just choke him out like Bart. Well, yeah, dude. Now, see, that's one thing, John. You let it go for a day. That's one thing. You let it go for 3 fucking weeks. By the time you get down there, man, it's slimy on the bottom and it's like so nasty. Playing with your pussy. I watched a I watched a few movies earlier today, John. That was about it. I mean, because for like the last 2 or 3 days, I mean, a lot of I've had an infected tooth, and it just kept swelling, and it was getting more and more painful. And I mean, I had friends emailing me saying, "Don't let that shit go too long. It could go to your jaw and infect your brain, and kill you, and all this." And I know that, dude. Toothaches could kill you if you don't take care of them. But I kept doing the peroxide rinse, and then finally, um, this morning I woke up and the swelling was already going down, like big time going down. And I was like, "Oh shit! Finally, something finally fucking broke." Hey, what's up, Jim? It's slimy on the bottom. Yeah, dude. Yeah. You don't want to let dishes sit in the sink for 3 weeks. It gets really nasty. Yeah, not quite a gun store.
I resemble that remark.
Yeah, no, Moose Man is the one that lives inside a gun store. No, this is actually a background. Now, do I have some of these weapons? I'm not going to say yes
We'll
or
never
no.
tell.
I
We'll never tell.
may or may not own a few of those items. My brother Jim out there, Knight's Armory, may or may not own a few of those items out there.
I just have pictures of weapons. See, I have pictures of weapons all around.
Yeah, John. Well, um, yeah, my buddy Backwoods is like, oh, just take a needle and clean it, sterilize it, and then poke it, and then rinse it. And I'm like, no,
And
I don't feel like
scream.
it. I don't feel like getting a shot in the gum, so I just did the peroxide rinse, and it did fine.
Well, has anybody else noticed a shortage of Bic lighters lately? There ain't a Bic lighter to be found in Walmart.
Really? No, I hadn't noticed. Then again, I don't really look for them all that much because I've already got like 3 or 4 big packs of them. I
Well,
mean,
I
how many?
think the preppers finally. I think the preppers heard me talking about why have a sparker when you can buy Bic lighters and vacuum seal them up and throw them in your pack. And while you're sitting there trying to make sparks, I'm gonna have me a fire going. I think they caught on because there ain't no Bic lighters around. There's been a run on them.
I don't know. Maybe.
I just found that one of the things I could not find in Walmart today.
Yeah, Patrick
I
Lee.
bought,
Yeah, you bought 50. You bought
yeah,
50 of them 2 years ago. How fast can you go through a big lighter? I mean, even if you're smoking crack, I mean, maybe what every well, it depends on how much crack I guess you're smoking.
3 to 4 weeks, 3 weeks.
Someone picks on the street corner. I don't know. It's kind of nice. The tobacco shop that I go to, if you spend over like $30, they give you a free cheapy lighter.
Cool.
I mean, they're the cheapies. They're not a bic, but still, it's a lighter.
Yeah, like what they call the views, like that.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah,
One of them.
yeah. The dollar store, it's 4 for $1 lighters.
They're
Red
fun to
don't like
blow
her
up.
because she has trouble striking. Yeah,
They are fun to blow up. I'll give them that.
I saw a crackhead kill a lighter in 3 days. Damn.
That's a lot. That's a lot, dude. Holy
That's
crap.
a crackhead.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Hmm. I even I got me a lighter leash. When you out with other people, when I loan it to them, I leash it and then bring it back. It comes back to my pocket.
Yeah.
Big
Like I
lighters used to be the most stolen thing among friends.
oh yeah, by far. Yep.
Yeah.
Usually because you're busy doing other things and not paying
Then
attention to where the lighter is.
the other one I carry is my one wrapped in snake and rattlesnake skin. It's a
Oh, cool.
snake skin bic holder, so I know my lighter.
I remember when I was in high school and I was doing let's just say I was helping out friends and so like every time I made a sale, I would I when I was in wood shop, I took some of the scraps and I would just make pipes. I mean, I would take hollow one out and then put like a little cheesy cheap ass screen, metal screen, and then I would glue the bowl on top of the screen. So when they would buy like a quarter or something off of me, I'd hand them the quarter and a pipe. So they got a free pipe out of it. And that was walnut. Walnut's not easy to burn,
Right.
but it was a lot easier than a Coke can sometimes. Although I always like using cans because then you could just crush them and toss it and be done.
Yeah. In a pinch, if you was out of papers, you better have you a beer can.
Yep, or a Bible. I never got that, dude. I would never ever. Mainly because of the ink.
No.
Who would do that?
We actually rolled a quarter pound into one joint one time back in high
Oh,
school with the paper out of a shoebox was rolling paper. It was real thin
oh
rolling
shit.
paper. And it rolled the joint. It must have been about well, I can't even get in camera. It was about
A foot long.
16 inches long and about that big around. And on graduation night, they fired it up out at the edge of a lake, and people woke up the next morning half in and half out of the water, laying there on the bank of the lake, and the roach was still over an ounce.
Damn. That's crazy.
Uh,
Well, hey, folks, we are coming up on the 2 hour mark. I don't like to go over much, but I will be on here in an hour or two. I actually I have to make a run. But yeah, I will be on tonight for Dangerous Freedom After Dark. So if you haven't subscribed to that channel, one of my mods, if you could please post the After Dark channel. That's the one where we really just let it. We talk about anything and everything.
Run what
It's
you're
not
doing.
Yeah, it's not monetized. I never plan on making it monetized. Usually the censorship is pretty mild on it. I do this one because this is more of the gun related channel, which is why I love having Moose on here. Because he's like a gun guru. So
Yeah. Keep Oklahoma tactical.
there. Oh, you got one of the. Is that one of the Cullen, New
On a
York?
cola. Yeah, Colion Noir's shirt. Yeah.
Cullen.
I wish he'd have put on there though. Keep Oklahoma tactical. He just put Oklahoma and the AR up there. So
Yeah.
it doesn't say anything. I was kind of depressed about that. But yeah, it was good seeing everybody in the chat. Appreciate all the questions and everybody. Thanks for all your well wishes and stuff. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe and send Danger Freedom all your spare money. I'm sure he would appreciate it.
Yeah, because I donate it. I give. I'm a giver. All right, everybody. I want to thank you all for coming out, and yeah, I'll see most of you probably in about an hour or two. I'm not sure exactly what time I'm going to do the After Dark. Maybe an hour, maybe an hour, maybe two. Usually it's 10 o'clock my time, so for a lot of you that's like midnight or
Midnight Central Time, 1 a.m. Eastern.
all right, everybody. You stay safe, stay armed, and remember the government
Keep
is
your
not your
powder
friend.
dry and keep your faith in God strong. Keep your powder dry, though. That's the main thing. But keep your faith in God strong as well. I'll see everybody next time.
All right, God bless everybody.